Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Wild Assault Basics. And returning with me is my best friend, Red.
Hello.
Now, what we're going to cover today is the different types of guns and gun customization types. Now, as you could see, Red has an assault rifle and I have an SMG, but we have similar attachments. All right. Are you ready to shoot your side? Just to give an
Yeah, I
idea
can.
on the comparison. Hold on, line up.
Mhm.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Erwin reloading.
As you could see, like Red's gun had to be reloaded before mine because I believe Red's gun shoots faster than mine. So if we were on the opposing team, like I would imagine that Red would have the upper hand because not only are assault rifles decently more powerful than most SMGs, but that the Type 4 that he's holding right now is a pretty reliable weapon.
I don't believe it's the one with the highest fire rate, but it is up there in fire rates. I'd actually have to look at what one does. I believe it's the AS Val, but this one's up there.
Yeah, I believe
So,
it.
however, I do have it set up because, as you I'm sure saw when shooting, uh, this is me not controlling. I have absolutely no control. So I do my best to modify it in a way that gives me at least some control because not having any kind of sucks.
All right, so you're more the expert of the assault rifles and what their upsides are and what their downsides are. So so how about giving our watchers a explanation on what the difference between the different guns, you know?
All right. So uh, this is what I've seen from game to game and from playing them and from seeing other people play them. First off, the only two classes that can all use assault rifles are the experts, and there's only two characters in the experts that can use them, and the assault valiants. That's it. The only two in the experts that can use them are Vladimir and Zhenshang, and those two are also the only two that can use the LMGs. They use the two heaviest ARs, but that's neither here nor there. I believe they have access to the CUG, which is an AR. And there's another one that I don't really remember, but everyone else has access to literally the other ones. Um, For the ARs, they're essentially an SMG just souped up is the best way to explain it. ARs are better for scoping, and I mean you can hip fire with them. It's just the
SMGs are
spread
more
is, yeah, they have less spread than ARs do. So that's kind of what it comes down to. And then there's the DMPs that have more spread, the snipers that have more spread, and then it kind of goes up from there. I mean, that's not to say that you can't. It does depend on what you need it for. There are ARs that are better with hip firing than other ones. The Type 4, I'd argue, is one of the better ones for hip firing. It's why I use it. And again, most guns are just preference. In my opinion, it's play style, preference. What do you like to do? What don't you like to do? I could play Assault Valiants with an SMG, but at that point, what am I doing with my life? They have access to the AR. They probably should just be using an AR. I've seen people absolutely destroy others, as like Akahime or who's the other one? Anthea with an SMG, but I do not have the level of skill for that, so I just don't. I will say that um, I'm sure, as most have noticed, I have cosmetics on virtually all of my guns that I can, because I am a sucker for very pretty, very shiny things.
Yeah.
They have absolutely no pertinence on the gun whatsoever. I just like pretty things. That is it. I'm a sucker for them.
I mean, there's always something for everyone in this game, right?
I completely agree. But
Now, some people take a shotgun and be like, oh yeah, I'm going to win every gunfight that I go. Like, at this range, yeah, I have a higher chance. But, if I go all the way over here, my
I
effectiveness
mean,
is reduced.
I
So,
have noticed that shotguns are significant RNG. At
yeah,
least last time I used them, I felt that's how it was, even at like point blank, putting it up to their chest and pulling the trigger. I felt it was really RNG. It just didn't matter.
because, the pellets can go different directions. Like,
Mhm.
this one here is the tightest that they are, and this one here has to be the widest that they go.
Yeah,
And so if I really want to one shot someone, I have to be super close and aim for the head. But let's face it, who's going to be standing still when they notice somebody with a shotgun?
that
Like, hold
and
on.
that's the big thing. Unless you get the jump on somebody, you're not gonna get the kill.
But
So,
if you're foolish enough to try to snipe somebody with a shotgun, like especially on a moving target, it's like, yeah, only a few pellets might hit a time.
and
But
if you're gonna do that, you're better off using the slug, because it removes the pellets and increases the accuracy. So you don't have pellets to worry about, but you do have one big ass bullet.
now, SMGs, what would you say would be situational to use as an SMG?
All right. For somebody that actively plays SMGs a lot, my preferred SMG is really dependent on the character I'm playing.
We're going to compare to the DMP to the PPSH. Now, let's start with hip firing.
Cover me.
Now, yeah, my shots may have lasted longer, but you saw look at my bullet holes. My bullets were going all over the place. And you could see Red's was a lot more controlled. All right. Now let's try aiming down the sights and try to control our recoils.
Reloading. Almost ready.
As you see, I reached my mouse's limit and I was still shooting and I easily lost control around the end because I couldn't pull my mouse down anymore. And you could see Red's hit the target aimed area more consistently. Actually, let's make comparisons with burst fire.
Cover me. I'm reloading.
Yeah, see that? Red's shots are a lot more tighter than mine. So, PPSH is not reliable at distant range, but it is reliable when you need to really hit more than one target at a time. That's its advantage.
I was
So,
gonna say it's definitely a quality. It is definitely a quantity over quality kind of shot. It
yeah,
it doesn't really matter the quality of the shot. It just matters the quantity of bullets in which you're shooting, because That's just how I fired the PPSH. This gun, I don't really need to worry about the amount of bullets I'm shooting because it will almost always hit where I'm shooting.
But this one,
So
like, even when I'm aiming and controlling the recoil, it's just not that reliable for distant combat.
I'm not saying it's a bad
Almost
gun.
It's not a
It's
bad
just
gun. It's not. Like, it's a lot more useful if you are like being mobile and don't want to reload as often.
also I'm going to talk about snipers here real quick. I
Yeah,
am not a good sniper. I want to preface this whole thing by saying I am not a good sniper.
yeah, but you know
But
a thing or two. You just
yeah,
not the best.
at least I want to make mention of I'm not a good sniper in this game. You plan to buckle your ass down with a sniper and sit somewhere and pull the trigger when somebody is dumb enough to stand still.
Yeah,
So
and not to
what I
mention
have
you want to be in locations where you can get into easy cover, but at the same time have good view.
correct. I do use the rep silencer because that does help with that kind of thing, but like um reduced spread does help. It also helps with mini map finding people on the mini map because most snipers do have the mini map open, which if you press the M key, you will very kindly find the mini map to be open, which I do use to find the neutral item every now and again, even on non-sniping characters, because my dumbass has a hard time finding things sometimes, so it's fine. Uh, the other thing is, there are certain things that with a sniper, it's fine to have more negatives than positives because you're not moving a lot.
Yeah, like you're not getting in there with the sniper. You're just sitting here and taking out who is foolish enough to stand still in the open.
Your team is on the same level as you, they will ping everybody for you. The best thing to do with sniping as a whole is to just keep moving. Take
Yeah,
a
yeah,
couple
yeah,
of
yeah.
shots, move around. Because the second they find out where you are, you're essentially dead.
Yeah, pretty much. So if you were to take out a target and that was the only target in the area, you need to move
Yep,
because
because the second they ping you, you're as good as dead. Because
so
they will come for you.
so you want to hide until the ping is likely gone.
Either gone and move back to that same spot or find another sniping location so that way you can take out more people in another safer spot so that way when they go there to find you you're not there anymore.
Your sidearm is a lot more reliable than the sniper if enemies get too close.
And with me being a support main, normally if like say commander needs me, I'll usually be on like hunging, so I'll just help them with healing or pop my ult or something and just follow them around so that way they're not, on their way to their new spot. I'm, there to help them out. Or I'll be on Irwin or something to ensure that they're safe.
Now, another thing
Being
I
a
should
support main.
point out is don't be a don't just be aware of where your crosshair is. You also need to be aware where your barrel is. So like if you're crouching behind cover and you take aim, yeah, yeah. I knew that I was over, but if I'm like over here and I'm trying to be clever, oh, you see that? What happened? I hit the truck because technically my barrel was in front of the truck.
The thing that this game has is bullet drop. So, like Battlefield, and I think one of the newer COD games, I hate to make mention of it, the game has bullet drop, so sometimes you have to aim a little bit above the head. Even if you're aiming straight for the dome, you have to aim a little bit above just to ensure that headshot.
Yeah,
Because if you don't, the bullet drop will aim for like the chest, even if you're right on the head
yeah,
and you were aimed for the head, the bullet drop will make sure you don't hit it.
yeah. So like if your target is in like let's say mid-range, you don't have to worry about bullet drop too much. But if they're really far away, you have to take into account the distance. Like my
Yes, there
original
was like
target would be that gas can over there on top of that. Yeah. Like, I'll aim, like, right around its center. Did I hit the center? No, I hit
You
the
hit.
bottom.
Reloading.
I was gonna
That
say, you hit
proves
the
that
bottom.
there's bullet drop. So, if I want to hit the center, I gotta aim a little higher.
It's still a little up. If
Yeah,
you aimed
I was a
little
little
bit
too
more
high
down.
because I'm a dummy,
Copy.
not knowing my
Reloading.
measurements.
Cover me.
That was actually a good hit. That was almost dead center.
Yeah, that one was more dead center.
DMPs are much the same. There are certain DMPs that are really good for sniping, and there's certain ones that are not. DMPs are marksman rifles. They are exactly what they sound like. They are semi-automatic sniper rifles. They're pretty fun.
Now, there are some that are not best for just shooting quickly. Like this one I have here, the DSV, or the in-game version of the Dragonov. Like, the Dragonov is a semi-automatic
Ready.
sniper rifle. So like, if you want to keep your shots consistent, you gotta give like a chance for your crosshair to get back on your target. Because if you just go too fast, see that?
Reloading.
My
Cover
shots were just forcing my rifle up.
This is the MK4, which I guess also has a fully automatic, which is absolutely terrifying.
Like, you probably only want to switch to that mode if enemies get too close.
Yeah, that is a terrifying mode to switch to.
Yeah, but the Dragonov does not have it. It only has semi-automatic.
Yep, it is it's the sniper rifle as
Change the mag.
the EMPs get. Going off of that, I don't think anyone who wants to play a sniper needs to be told this, but accuracy is important as well as range, because the
Yeah.
farther that damage is, or the farther the range of the gun goes, the more damage is carried.
Yeah,
I don't think I need to tell anyone that, but I've had a lot of
but
people
for
tell me what
those,
one's better for a sniper.
but
And
those who
I've told a lot of
don't
people.
know, like
Yeah.
they should know, like what you just said. Like they need to know that the range is not how far the gun reaches; it's also how much the damage
much
is
damage.
carried over at a
Yep.
certain distance. So we all know what suppressors do. They quiet down your shots.
Well, that's not particularly correct. The particular part commanders are talking about is known as the muzzle.
Yeah, the muzzle.
Each gun has multiple different muzzle options, or not each. Let me correct myself. There are certain guns like the PPSH that immediately comes to mind that actually has no muzzle options. There's, I believe, the AS Val, and there's an AR that also doesn't have any, or not an AR. AS Val is an AR. There's a DMP, the one that I use on Marquez, that actually doesn't have any muzzle options either. There are a few guns that you just can't change the muzzle on.
Yeah. Like
but
certain
like
shotguns.
90% of the guns you can change the muzzle on. However, most of them do not actually silence the gun. There are the silencers, like the wrap silencer, which helps with, you know, obvious silencing, and then there's it helps with a few other things. Then there's the tactical silencer, the heavy silencer, then there's things like that. So it really just kind of depends on what you need the gun to do in the moment.
Yeah, at the moment. But
I've
all parts have their pros and their cons. Like forget about the bars that you see in the details. Just like the parts you should be focused on is either fire rate, mag capacity, reserve ammo, and the traits that show above details. Like for example, the wrap silencer. As you could see with the wrapped silencer, as it's called, the ups and has downs. Now, spread increase per shot is reduced by 30%. That means how fast is the gun going to become inaccurate as it fires? And I don't need to explain minimap stealth range while firing. I don't need to explain that. And downs is, now for those who don't know what this means, ADS means aim down sights. Aim down sights movement speed reduced by 9%. That means you move slower if you're aiming down the sights. There are different sighting attachments, such as red dot sights, scopes. Heck, if you're more comfortable with it, just the default iron sight. Now over here, these attachments are just simple magazines. Now, every gun type has their own magazine types. Like certain guns have drum mags, some have like just extended mag or quick mag. But as for this, as for the Type 4, I'm just going to explain what's here. Now, default mag is default. No ups, no downs. Heavy ammo. Now, this increases range by 40 meters, but it takes away 10 bullets from your magazine. And not to mention, increases vertical recoil by 31% and horizontal recoil by 20%. That means you have less control over the gun.
I also want to make this really, really clear. I have seen people use the heavy ammo really effectively.
Yeah.
As we had mentioned in another video, you can change the firing type on the guns.
That's
If you
true.
do that, you can make the Type 4 a semi-auto and a single shot, which means the heavy ammo then becomes significantly more powerful because you're not fully automatic anymore. That vertical and horizontal recoil becomes significantly less like of a problem if you don't have to worry about it as much.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're using an AR, I feel like, I mean, it's not saying like that it isn't a problem, but like, you know.
Cover me. I'm
So
reloading.
I basically am using the heavy ammo right now in this assault rifle. I basically turned it into a makeshift marksman rifle. So I basically set my gun to semi-automatic. So I have better control over where my shots are going rather than you know, the
Reloading.
alternative.
Say your fire is going to be all over the place.
Yeah, I'm using extended heavy magazine because, you know, I have 30 bullets. But you could see my shots went all over the place because my gun was a lot more wilder than the default bullets. But that does not mean that heavy ammo is just straight up bad. It just depends on your playstyle and what you're going to do with it. Semi-automatic is highly recommended if you are playing to keep your distance and keep your shots steady. But if you're just going to go straight up wild, I recommend, like, don't hip fire it in, like, close range because this is a mess right here. That's a mess.
You just have to know what you
Reloading.
want the gun to do. And you should fiddle around with the like the overall point of the
whole point of the video is we're not showing you, like, what's best and what's not. It's more like we're showing you what does what and what you could do with it. Like, hell, if we're wrong about certain things, then why not join in and show us your customized gun sometimes, you know? Show us what it could do.
I'm always for finding out and learning how to do things better. That's in fact what I like learning and how to play games better. My big thing is with people wanting to get into games like this or this game in general is find a character and a playstyle that you like and
Reloading.
stick with it
Back
for a little
to your
bit.
team, soldier.
And that would, incentivize you to
Don't
play
leave
every
me for
character
long.
and learn, that would, say, go back to season 1, unlock Irwin, go to season 2, unlock Croc, go to season 4. You'll start on season 4 and you'll get in the get all the characters unlocked, play them, figure out what you like, what you don't like.
I
So
think we covered pretty much everything we could explain in this one about gun styles, gun types, and customization types and
I do
effects.
believe so. Yeah.
Oh, and one more thing that should be explained is like if you're in the middle of a match and you want to customize your gun, just highlight over your primary or secondary gun, right click, and you'll be able to customize your gun in mid match. So if you wanna if you want to change certain things, then go ahead.
That should be a power of discretion, not a, doing it because you need to kind of thing.
It's
I am in an absolute firm belief that there is a time and place for everything, and if it is a critical moment, you probably shouldn't be doing that.
yeah,
So if the gun is in a situation where it needs to be adjusted, just change the gun that is in a situation that can be used. So that's how I personally would do that. So
but of
I'm using it
course
on this.
that feature is there because it's not just for oh, I could switch up part of my gun or switch guns whenever I like. No, it's for those who need to learn adaptability.
Oh, I completely agree. It is a good feature to have, especially if it's like quick changes, like, oh, my scope needs to go away. Because again, like there are times where I'll just quickly change my scope, like, yep, need it, or change the silencer, or change the muzzle, or change the mag. But those are easy, quick changes, right?
Yeah,
If I am completely changing the loadout, I will completely just change the gun.
yeah. Might as well just change guns at that point. It's pretty much time to end the episode. Any last words, Red?
I don't believe so.
And with that, goodbye.
Bye.